Hey everyone! Welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into something that completely transformed my health, energy, and honestly, my entire life. And it's something so simple you probably won't believe it. Walking. Specifically, 10,000 steps every single day. Now before you roll your eyes and click away, thinking, great, another basic health tip I've heard a million times. Let me tell you, I was the biggest skeptic. I thought the whole 10K steps thing was just another fitness fad with no real science behind it. Boy, was I wrong. What happened when I committed to 10,000 steps daily for 3 months straight completely blew my mind. The first month especially changed everything, and I documented the entire journey to share with you today. We're talking visible physical changes, surprising mental benefits, and some shocking improvements in my health markers that even my doctor couldn't believe. Plus, I'll share exactly how I managed to fit all those steps into my busy schedule without spending hours walking in circles. So lace up your metaphorical walking shoes and let's dive into what 10,000 steps a day really does to your body. Where did the 10K number come from? Before we get into my results, let's quickly address the elephant in the room. Where did this magical 10,000 steps number even come from? Believe it or not, the 10,000 steps recommendation wasn't born in a scientific laboratory. It actually originated in Japan back in the 1960s, when a company created one of the first commercial pedometers. They named it Manpo-K, which literally translates to 10,000 steps meter. The number was chosen mainly for marketing purposes. It sounded good and was a nice round number. But here's the twist. Even though it started as a clever piece of branding, modern research has shown there's actually something powerful about aiming for that 10K mark. It's not some magical switch where health benefits suddenly turn on. In fact, many improvements begin at much lower step counts. Studies show that people who walk 4,000 to 6,000 steps daily already see a significant reduction in risk for heart disease, diabetes, and even some cancers. But 10,000 steps, which equates to about 4.5 to 5 miles, depending on your stride, represents a level of daily movement that pushes most people out of sedentary territory and into a true zone of transformation. It's ambitious, achievable, and above all, habit-forming. My challenge set up. So here's how I approached the 10,000 steps challenge without burning myself out. Gradual ramp up. Week 1, 6,000 steps per day. Week 2, 8,000 steps per day. Week 3 and beyond, 10,000 plus steps per day. Tracking tools, a fitness tracker on my wrist, my phone as a backup, a handwritten journal where I logged each day's total and noted how I felt, rules I followed. No counting, fidgeting, or accidental steps. Purposeful movement only. At least one sustained walk of 3,000 steps or more daily. No skipping days, unless absolutely necessary. One emergency day per month. Metrics tracked. Weight, waistline, and body composition. Resting heart rate, sleep duration, and quality energy and mood levels. Rated 1 to 10. Blood pressure, and a few blood markers. I also took weekly progress photos, and let me tell you, that visual feedback was way more motivating than any number on a scale. Week 1, the adjustment phase. Week 1 was a humbling experience. I started out thinking, hey, I walk around the house. I should be close to 6,000 anyway. Nope. I was averaging just over 3,500 steps. By the end of the first few days, I had sore calves, a blister on one heel, and a realization that I spent way more time sitting than I thought. I was shocked at how hard it was to hit 6,000, let alone 10,000. But here's the thing. By day 5, something shifted. My body began adapting. I started getting up more often without thinking, pacing during phone calls, even choosing stairs over the elevator without forcing it. Week 1 results. Weight down by half a pound, likely water. Fell asleep about 10 minutes faster. Resting heart rate dropped by 2 BPM, happier moods, especially on days I walked outside. More creative thoughts during walks. Looking forward to walks instead of dreading them. Biggest lesson of week 1? Movement begets movement. Weeks 2 to 4, the transformation begins. This was the sweet spot. By week 2, I was comfortably hitting 8,000 plus steps per day, and by week 3, I hit my stride. 10K felt normal. People around me started noticing. My face looked leaner, my posture improved, and my mood was just better. I smiled more, got snappy ideas faster, and my productivity during work hours went through the roof. Physical results by end of week 4. Down 4.7 pounds, 1.2 inches off my waist. Resting heart rate down a total of 7 BPM. More muscle tone in legs, especially calves. Sleeping through the night without tossing and turning. Unexpected changes. No more 3 p.m. energy crashes. Improved dramatically. TMI. But let's be real. Lower back pain that had haunted me for years was easing. Blood pressure normalized from borderline high to healthy range. One of the biggest surprises? Walking helped me think better. I had some of my best ideas mid-walk, and my creative workflow felt sharper than ever. Even my social life changed. I invited friends and family on short walks, and we had deeper conversations than we did over coffee or dinner. Walking side by side somehow encouraged more openness. By the end of month 1, walking was no longer something I had to do. It was something I wanted to do. It became part of who I am. The science. How 10,000 steps change your body. Let's nerd out for a minute and talk science. What's actually going on in your body when you consistently walk this much? Metabolic boost. Walking helps your mitochondria work more efficiently, raising your resting metabolism over time. You literally burn more calories even while doing nothing. Stronger heart. Walking strengthens your heart muscle and improves vascular elasticity, which lowers resting heart rate and blood pressure. Blood sugar control. Regular walking improves insulin sensitivity. Just one 30-minute walk can lower post-meal blood sugar spikes by up to 30%. My step trigger system. So how do you actually fit 10,000 steps into a real busy day? This was my secret weapon, the step trigger system. Instead of trying to squeeze in one long walk, I created tiny habits that triggered movement throughout my day. Here are my top 5 step triggers. The morning kickstart, a 10-minute walk immediately after waking up. It wakes me up better than coffee and gets me 1,000 steps before the day even starts. Walk and talk calls. I take Zoom meetings and phone calls while walking around my home or yard. A 30-minute call? That's 2,500 to 3,000 steps. Easy. TV commercial laps. During Netflix breaks or commercials, I pace the living room. Sounds silly, but I get 500 steps per hour of watching. Park farther away. Every errand became a step opportunity. I'd park at the far end of every lot, easily adding 200 to 300 steps per trip. The song rule. Before dinner, I walk outside for the length of one song, just 3 to 4 minutes. But it adds 400 plus steps and clears my mind before the evening. None of these felt hard. In fact, they became automatic. Like brushing my teeth, just part of the routine. What I learned and what's next. So there you have it. The incredible transformation that came from something as simple as walking 10,000 steps a day. To recap the biggest benefits, lost nearly 5 pounds with no change in diet, better sleep and more energy throughout the day, normalized blood pressure and reduced chronic pain, sharper focus, improved mood, and enhanced creativity, deepened relationships through shared walks. Most importantly, I built a habit I actually love. I'm now 5 months into this walking journey, and the momentum hasn't stopped. I've added light resistance training a few days a week, but walking remains the foundation of my health. If you're thinking of starting your own walking journey, remember these 3 key points. Start small. If you're at 2,000 steps now, aim for 4,000, then 6,000. Build it slowly. Make it part of your life. Use step triggers to sneak in movement throughout your day. Track how you feel, not just the steps, but your mood, sleep, and energy levels. If this video helped you or inspired you to take action, do me a favor. Hit the like button, Drop a comment below with your step goal, and subscribe for more practical health habits that actually work. And if you want a follow-up where I break down my long-term results after 6 months, just let me know in the comments. I'm happy to share everything I've learned. Remember, life-changing transformations don't require expensive gear or fancy programs. Sometimes all it takes is a good pair of shoes and the willingness to take one step at a time. See you in the next video. And until then, happy walking.